Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving an updated 2026 House election map prediction. But before we get started, if you enjoy this kind of content, please subscribe to support the channel. We're getting really close to 1,000 subscribers and your support would mean a lot to me. So let's get into it. The first one that we're going to look at is Arizona's 1st District with David Schweiger. And he is actually a pretty good incumbent for the Republicans. He did outperform the president margin by like 0.7%, not too much. But if you look at the district, you see that Trump won it by over 3%. Now, I do expect Arizona as a whole to shift left, of course, because it's a Trump midterm. But I do think because David Schweizer is a pretty good Republican, I think he's going to hold on by a tilt margin. And then we have Juan Ciscomani. He is in a very narrow Trump district. It only voted for Trump by 0.7%. If you look at the district as a whole, you see two themes. You see the region around Tucson. You have Pima County, where Engel won this place by 19,000 votes. And then you have the rural parts of the district where Ciscomani was able to run up his margins. Now, as you can see, Ciscomani only won by, 11,000 votes or so. And I think the big X factor in this race is he going to have enough votes in Coquise, Graham, and Pinole to outdo the votes that Engel, or whoever the Democrat nominee, is going to get in Pima County? I think that's going to be the big question of this election. Are you going to be able to turn out those low propensity voters in these rural places in Arizona? So for right now, I do actually have Democrats flipping this because, Juan Ciscomani, he did outrun this district, the partisanship of this district, I should say, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it again, especially with the environment in 2026. So for that reason, I have this as a tilt pickup for the Democrats. And I did forget to do one thing. I actually am going to flip one of the Utah districts because it does look like the maps in Utah are going to be redrawn, so I'm just going to put that in the safe margin for the Democrats. Then we have Adam Gray's district. And as you can see, Trump won this district by 5.4%, but the Republican incumbent went down by 0.1%. If we look at this district, we see that there are 3 counties that supported Gray, and there's 2 counties that supported Duarte. And I think the big X factor, as with the other one, is what is the turnout going to be in these rural places, in Fresno County and in Madera County. Because if you look at Merced County, this was a very close district, or county, I should say. Gray won it by, about 2,000 votes. Now, I don't know if the Republican voters are going to turn out. If you actually look at this district, it's almost 2/3 Hispanic. And so if those low propensity Hispanic voters do not turn out for Trump, I could see Gray winning this. Now, another thing to take into account is how is the top of the ticket Republican going to do? Now, we don't know who's going to be running for governor on the Democrat side. It might be Harris, but depending on how close the top of the ticket race goes, this could get, competitive. Republicans could even flip it, maybe. But for right now, I'm going to keep it in the tilt Democrat column. The next one that we have is Ken Calvert's district. They actually have it in the lean column. I think it's probably going to be in the tilt column, considering that he, underperformed Trump by about 2.5%. So I'm going to put that in the tilt column for right now. Then we have Derek Tran's district. I'm going to put it in the lean Democrat column. I don't think Republicans are going to be able to put too much resources into that district, especially considering they have a lot of districts to still play defense on, even though they lost districts last November. They're going to have to defend David Valadaro's district, Young Kim's district, Ken Calvert's district. I don't think they're going to have too much money to pour into Derek Tran's district, and also voted for Harris, so it is a Democrat district, and so for that reason, I'm putting it in the lean Democrat column. The next one that we have is Colorado's 8th district. And this was definitely one of the most surprising, House district races. I did not think that a Republican was going to win this district. I did think Yadiro Caraveo was going to be able to hold on because Colorado is more of a left-trending state. But the reason why Gabe Evans was able to flip this is because of Weld County. So as you can see, we have Adams County, which Caraveo got a 21,000 vote edge in. But then in Weld County, Evans was able to make up that. And then you also had Larimer County, where he was able to win. So I don't think Gabe Evans is going to be able to hold on it, except maybe if Yadiro Caraveo runs, because Colorado itself is a very left-trending state, as I said before. And the district that Gabe Evans is representing is in the suburbs. So, and as you know, the suburbs have been trending to the left in recent years. So for that reason, I'm going to put this in the lean Democrat column. Then we have Iowa's 1st district. And when I tell you that Marinette Miller Meeks is not a good candidate for the GOP, you know that she's not good. Like, look at this. 8.3% is the difference between the top of the ticket, Trump, and down ballot, Marinette Miller Meeks. She won by 0.2%, even though Trump won her district by 8.5%. Like, that is crazy. She is a very bad candidate. And unless she gets primaried, I do think that Democrats are going to be able to flip this district. Then we have Zach Nunn's district in Iowa. I think it's probably going to be like a tilt district. Trump only won it by like 4.4%, and Zach Nunn underperformed Trump, so I'm going to put that in the tilt Republican column. Then we have Jared Golden's district. Now, the X factor in this one is if Jared Golden is going to run for governor. Now, he has expressed some interest in possibly running for governor. I'm going to say that he's going to run for governor, and if he does, I think Republicans are not going to have a hard time flipping this district. So I'm going to put that in the lean Republican column. Then we have Tom Barrett's district. So Tom Barrett won his district by 3.7%, even though, Trump only won it by 1.3%. If we look at this district, it's a very common theme. You have one Democrat area, and then you have Republican rural areas. So Hurdle was able to get a 41,000 vote advantage in Lansing, and then Tom Barrett had to make that up in the suburbs of Lansing. And I think it's really just a battle between Ingham and Livingston, because Barrett was able to make up the votes, some of them in these rural areas, but Livingston really put him over the top. So I do think he's going to be able to hold on because he was able to outrun Trump, but I'm going to put it in the tilt margin for right now. Then we have John James's district. Now, this is in Macomb County. I think he's going to be able to hold on. He's actually retiring to run for governor. So I do think the Republican who runs here is going to be able to hold on because Trump won his district by 6.5%. I do think that the top of the ticket results in Michigan are going to make this district more Democratic. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. But I'm still going to put it in the lean Republican column for right now. Then we have Don Davis's district. Now, he represents a more black part of North Carolina. His district has a high black population, and in North Carolina, Republicans are usually the more high propensity voters. So it definitely could become close in North Carolina's 1st district. I'm debating whether to put it in lean or tilt. I think I'll probably put it in the tilt column as of right now. Then we have Nebraska's 2nd district, Don Bacon. Now, Don Bacon's going to have a hard time winning this if he runs for re-election. Because if you look at Omaha, Vargas was able to win this by 10,000 votes. And then in these 2 Republican areas, yes, he was able to make that up, but he only won by 6,000 votes. And keep in mind, Trump only lost this district by 4 or 5 points. So if this district shifted even like 2 points to the left, Don Bacon would lose. And another problem for the Republicans is it doesn't really look like Don Bacon is going to run for re-election. He has expressed doubt on whether he will actually run for re-election. He's kind of fed up right now. So for that reason, I'm going to put this in the lean Democrat column. Then we have Tom Keene. He's a very good Republican. He outperformed his district by like 4 points. I don't think he's going to have too much trouble holding on. Then we have Nellie Powell. I'm going to keep that in the lean margin. Gabriel Vasquez, I think will probably either be in the lean or likely column. I'll probably put it in the lean column for right now, but that definitely could change. We have Laura Gillen in New York's 4th district. This district was held by Anthony D'Esposito, but he went down this past election. And this district definitely became a lot more Republican. I'm pretty sure Biden won Anthony D'Esposito's district by like 14 points, but now after the new election, Trump only lost it by 1.3%. So I think it's going to become close. It depends on the top of the ticket Republican. Some people are saying Mike Lawler might run for governor, Elise Stefanik. But for right now, I'm going to keep it in the tilt Democrat column for right now. Then we have Marcy Kaptur and Amelia Sykes. There's actually redistricting in Ohio. So I think both of them are going to be drawn out. And that's how Republicans flip these 2 districts. Then we have Ryan McKenzie. I'm going to put this in the tilt Democrat column for right now. If you look at this, we see that there are 2 counties that are Democrat, 2 counties that are Republican. Wild won Lehigh by like 9,000 votes, and Northampton by like 1,000 or so. And then Carbon County, McKenzie was able to make that up along with Monroe County. But Josh Shapiro being at the top of the ticket is going to be tough for these down ballot Republicans. And so right now I'm going to put that in the tilt Democrat column. Then we have Scott Perry's district. I also think he's going to go down. He's definitely one of those more hardline Republicans in Congress, and he underperformed Trump by almost 4 points. So he's definitely not the most popular Republican. You can see that he lost the Harrisburg County by like 14,000 votes, and he hardly made that up in York and Cumberland. And I think Democrats are going to put a lot of resources into this district, considering he's a weak candidate for the GOP, and I do believe that's going to be a flip. Then we have Henry Cuellar. This is going to depend on if he resigns, because he does have like bribery charges. I'm pretty sure like the Democrat Party is also pretty upset with him. I'm pretty sure they're going to vote on like a resolution that would ban him from campaign resources of the state Democrat Party. And the trial is going to start in September, and if he's found guilty, I think he's going to resign, and this is going to be a Republican pickup. I do think Vicente Gonzalez is going to hold on in Texas's 34th district. And then we have Jen Kiggins. I think she's going to hold on in this district. She's a very strong incumbent. She outperformed Trump by 3.5%. So I'm going to put it in the tilt Republican column. Then we have Washington's 3rd district, Marie Perez. I think she's going to also hold on, probably by a lean margin. She's a very strong incumbent for the Democrat, even though she represents a Trump district. And then we have Derek Van Orden. I do believe he's going to go down. Even if the maps don't get changed, which I do believe they're going to get changed in Wisconsin, because Susan Crawford won the Supreme Court race. But even if it doesn't get redrawn, I still see Derek Van Orden going down. And I actually think I changed my mind on Michigan's, 7th, because I do think it's probably going to get close, because you have the top of the ticket Democrats most likely winning, maybe in the Senate race and maybe even in the governor race. So this is going to be my prediction. Democrats win 220 seats and Republicans 215. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers. I would really appreciate it. Shout out to my member in the description. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.